So, this is fire weather in the Pacific Northwest. See if I can get on some trees here, and you can see those trees are funny because the other trees are knocked off. But anyway, it's like 70 out here, and the wind is howling. As I was coming through from the other room, moving the camera. Sorry about all this. I kind of got kicked off the range because some kids showed up to shoot. My daughter and son-in-law, and they overruled me for shooting. So I figured I'm going to come in and do a tutorial on cleaning, because I was out earlier today, just a few minutes ago, making up some cleaning gear, and I thought, hey, I'm going to wheel the camera around to where I've been shooting, and it's time to clean one of these BMGs anyway. So I'm going to shut this phone off, and yeah. The burger only. Right. Sorry, even though it's a Saturday, work call, had to take it. So, today I'm trying to be off work, but I'm not completely, so I'm in here doing some, wrapping some stuff up, and I decided to finally make a cleaning kit for these 50 BMGs, because I'm bouncing back and forth between the 50s and the Revenant, and today I've been working on, this is the bike. Hey, I found the pieces. This is kind of funny. I found the pieces for my muzzle brake that came into pieces. One of them was 38 feet to the left, laying on a stairway, and the other one was 70 feet to the right, up against a retaining wall on my driveway. And I just had, my kid found the one on the stairway because he went up to the Hunter Ed room, and he's like, Dad, there's a sheet of metal hanging, laying. Anyway, so I got started making, and my little arm gets so tired. Look that joke up because it's good. This was 27 pounds of stainless steel, and I've been machining it. I'm down to only, man, I'm probably down to only 11 pounds now. But anyway, I decided to take a break because, as I said, my little arm gets so tired. And that's the nice thing about having the range right here. I can bounce. I can go here, I can go there. If I get tired of machining, I go shoot. If I get tired of shooting, I go take a nap. So let me play with this light just a little bit. Might have to go down. This is very, very impromptu, so bear with me just a fuzz, guys, while I play with this. As I've said before, if it gets too bad, then you might choose to go somewhere else, and that's completely fine. But in the meantime, we're going to show you how I clean. I've touched on it before. One of the things I need to say is I clean with chemicals. I don't scrub with steel wool. I don't use ISO. I don't use, I won't even put a bronze or a brass brush in my bore, because I believe you can damage. Stainless steel is soft, soft, soft. You can scratch it with your thumbnail. So I've been buying bore guides for years. I got boxes and buckets of them here. These are some bore guides, but and some of these have got custom turned ends that fit various this, that, and the other thing. But what I've been doing now for the last number of years is not letting anybody else screw around with my sizing and my fitting. Instead, I build stuff that fits exactly. And I do mean exactly, because I have been taking, some of these are missing O-rings, but all of my stuff has O-rings. Here's the thing, I'm a bulk guy because I do a lot of different places and a lot of different calibers and a lot of different cartridges in those calibers. And so I have a whole bunch of bore guides. I've got a Hawkeye that I've used for years, but it's always bulky and it gets left at the shop. Now I've got Teslongs, like 7 of them. Every range box, every drawer, there's a Teslong, okay? And I do fitted cleaning equipment. So, because I have all these Teslongs, I monitor constantly. Constantly. So, this is one of the things that I'm throwing this channel out there for, and that I'm begging you people to start separating the wheat from the chaff, start being able to call bullshit, because there is 98% of the information out there is speculation and garbage and unsupported opinion. I deal with things in a world where I build structural homes and buildings and pour concrete. Failure is not an option, because when things fail, people get hurt. So opinions kind of go out the window in that environment, because we have to do it right. We have people looking over our shoulders called code enforcement officials, but they're, frankly, for the most part, stupid, and they have no drive. They're not responsible. I'm responsible for a project that I do. So in simple fact, if a foundation fails, if a bearing point fails, if a steel structure fails, it comes back on me. Yes, I'm licensed, bonded, whatever. This gun stuff is kind of in the middle, because I am a licensed and not bonded, but I'm an 07 FFL. I do have to stand behind some of this stuff because I do sell it. But that's not my main point. My main point is to ask the questions of why, form supported opinions, and freaking do it right the first time, for crying out loud. Just do it right. So, this all leads up to, I use things that work. I don't care about anybody's feelings. I don't care about the opinions of others. I don't care about 9 people arguing over whether JB's is better than IASO. I take a bore scope. I take multiple bore scopes so that I always have one with me. And I monitor my stuff. These 50 BMGs, got 4 of them. 3 are stainless, 1 is chrome moly. Actually, I have to take that back. I've got more barrels than I have guns. I got 4 guns. I got a couple of chrome moly barrels. But the point is, I monitor all this stuff all that time, and I write down assiduous notes. I got notepads are another thing that are everywhere. Everything that I do gets documented, because as I get older, I realize just how short my memory is. So I figured I was out here making, cleaning. I've been cleaning these old school, which means just using a good cleaning method and monitoring, but having to swab the chambers out all the time, and that gets old. So I took some, gonna have another close-up thing here. Hang on just a second, I'm in the middle of a recording. I bought some steel or aluminum tubing. I'll just show you the size so that you can know how to order this up yourself if you decide to do this. Boy, I'm having trouble getting light on this. This is bizarre. Okay, M238 anodized 3/4 6 foot off of Amazon, and it's 3/4 inch thin wall aluminum tubing. Now, I've got some cartridges here that I done wore out. These have probably got, I don't know, 30, 40 firings on them. And they were at a point where primer pockets weren't getting loose, but for other reasons, I decided to go ahead and sacrifice them. The necks were getting a little stiff. Even though it's a fitted chamber, I don't want to go into the ins and I don't know what that piece up there. But I just wanted to show you. I'm playing with 2 different ones here. I'm going to go ahead and hold them up here tight in the light so that you can see what I'm doing. This is my normal configuration right here. It's very simple, very elegant. This is a case that's been fired in my chamber many times, so it's a slip fit to my chamber. I put an O-ring on it, and this becomes my cleaning rod guide. Now, because people are always adding extra stuff and doing cool things like that, I went ahead and cut one of them off so that maybe it makes it cooler. I don't think it does. But in any case, I made a deal on this. So, I'm going to go ahead and go back out and show you guys how I clean with this mess. Get around to where we can see everything. And I realize that I've done some of this before, but on a big 50, there's a few things you're going to notice. It's hard to find good cleaning stuff for them. It's hard to find anything that fits. The other thing with 50s is, I've shown you before, I've got these pre-loosened so that they rip off easy. This is the spacers, and doors blowing open in this wind here. I got people just outside. Everything is Velcroed together, okay, so I can add spaces and I can add distance. On the back, is this plate's also Velcroed on, but I shouldn't have to use it. So basically, take this out of the catch, and now I've got an open hole, or I should have an open hole, all the way through there. I do. So now while we're here, I'm going to show you another thing that's important. If your cleaning solution is working, it's eating your jag. That's a gimme. That's a given. If it's not eating your jag, it's not working. So I use a cleaning solution that works. And I just got a small vial of it here. So I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to demonstrate the cleaning method that I use. I keep this over here in the cleaning rod holder instead of trying to drop stuff on the floor. Find some appropriate sized patches here. The stuff got all shoved aside. As you can hear the bang, bang, banging going on outside. Kids showed up to shoot. It's hunting season. One of them wanted a pistol. Long story short, they overrode me. And that's all fine and good. So, figured I would do a cleaning tutorial here. This happens to be, if I remember right, this fits. It's a doubled over, heavy muslin, something or another. And I take and I apply just enough to get the job done, and you play with that. The problem with, as I said earlier, cleaning naked without one of these rod guide thingies, or what I should call it, I call it a chamber protector more than a rod guide, even though this is the size of the bullet, so it acts as a rod guide, and I can bush these. I have a few that I bushed, but I don't, as long as I run my cleaning rods nice and straight, I don't rub them on the sides of the bore. So this goes in. I'm trying this funny cut one here, just I did some angles, a right hand and a left hand. Again, it just comes down to the fact that I'm always experimenting. I just bury that in there, and now I come back here, I insert from the back, not a soaked cleaning patch. I see all these people lay this thing into a hole and then just goober the come on. You need enough that it comes out the other end wet, and that's it. Watch as that goes in there. Goes in nice and straight. And now I'm not going to completely clean, but I'm running my wet patch through now. I can feel it go through the neck smoothly. I can feel the tiniest little bit of resistance as it slides through the gap space. And here it is. I'm going slowly, even though you can't see the rod moving. Now, I keep this homemade gadget right here that I reach out the window and catch the patches in, because I'm normally cleaning out the window. So I didn't allow room for it. Catch the patches like that, hang everything back up, and then, because I'm all anal like that, I slowly pull the rod back through and I use a patch to clean the rod off as it's coming. You can't see the rod moving because this is a long freaking rod. I've got a wingspan on me, and it's I can't even get it into the picture. There's not enough room. There it is. And it eats up, when it's done correctly, it eats up the jags. I have wick jags, I have stainless jags, I have aluminum jags, I have nylon. Some of the steels and some of the brasses, steels pretty much resist. Stainless are nice, but if they touch the bore, it freaks me out. So I make sure that they're sized in such a way that I can use small patches. So that's basically what I wanted to do, is just use, again, I'm having a lot of fun with this big stuff because it allows me to do videos using great big props so that you could see them. And this is the simplest thing. Now, because I have a lathe and I'm all cool like that, I can take these, I made these so that they're pushed together. The way I tell most people to do it is to go out and buy some tubing, because most people, frankly, don't have a lathe. They don't have this option of tapering to match and getting this perfect fit and go together. So instead, for normal humans, you just go out and buy yourself some tube stock from a local hardware store. You can buy these locking rings if you want. This happens to be a big oversized one, so it doesn't work really well. It doesn't fit into an action. It might fit into this action. Maybe I'll cut it out. But basically, I also buy these ones that have a solid port on them. Don't know how that, I'll come up here a little closer so that I can make sure I'm in the focus. This is a commercial grade one, but I take this end of it off and throw it away. I don't throw it away because I'm a tightwad. I don't throw anything away. I've got a hole back there in the background. I've got all kinds of, these are commercial ones, and these are some of the fittings that go on them. I keep all the fittings, and I used to turn them to fit my chambers, but now, for instance, in WSM 6.5 by 47 in all of its iterations, PPC and BR, I have 3 different size chambers that I run and have run and use. So now I decided to really make things fit. Just take a case that's been fired 50 times, 80 times, 100 times, got a crack, whatever. One of these ended up having a crack at the base, and it had been fired 30 some times, and I'm like, well, still in good shape, but I wanted to make 2 cleaning rod props so that you could see. So you can buy a commercial one to get all the sizes right, and then cut off your own piece for the end, or just go out and buy some rod stock. But in any case, I just figured, since the range is being banged upon and I can't shoot and I got to build and my arm is worn out from cranking on my mill, figured I'd come in here and give you a little bit more information about the ins and outs and indelicacies of my cleaning method, and to understand that it's supported by the fact that I monitor with a borescope. I've got Teslongs on various monitors, from phones to bigger TVs, screens, so you can see detail that I could never see with the Hawkeye. I've got the Hawkeye and the right angle piece and the upgraded light source and it's okay. It was the best thing until the best thing came out. Now we've got these stick them up your butt and look inside of you scopes, otoscope. I guess that would be ear. I don't know. I can't remember what they call them. I get the impression that it's a examination tool of some sort for going inside. Nowadays they sell them for motors and all kinds of stuff, but the actual medical use for it is to go into orifices and look up inside. So they're, as far as I know, they're watertight and they're this and they're that. But the only reason I bring that up is because I still feel I treat them the same way I treat my old Hawkeye stuff. Don't let cleaning solvent get on them. So after this is pulled out, which I just did, I pulled this piece out of there. There is still a chance that there's a little bit of residue. So I then take generally that patch that I just cleaned this off with, and I go in another time, or I'll take a fuzzy. I have other tools that reach up and clean better, and go back in here again, and this time let it ride on the bottom of the chamber. I can feel there's no metal to metal. I'm cloth down. Go up into the neck and just anything that might be in that neck. See that little bit of movement? I'm running in the neck and then I'm onto the land. And then I can just pull this right back out. I don't have to run it completely through the bore, and I can just look. But what I'm doing is getting the last possibility of a little bit of residue out of the neck of the chamber. Because even with the O-ring, if you have let's say you're really going after the carbon ring, or you want to have enough material in there to really soak that carbon ring, that means that the fluid comes back down around the neck. And when you're all done, you pull this back out and you go and just clean out that neck area and the beginning of the lands, the lead and the neck, and let it roll down into the chamber. And for many, many years, I would tip these things up and spray brake clean or something down into the chambers. But I felt like at some point that sometimes it would run down and contaminate the bore and give me a 2 or 3 shot phenomenon of not really tight bug holing. And there's nothing more frustrating than a gun that tunes, quote, in the twos. Basically, you've got a 1/4 inch gun, and that's crap. You can't win with a 1/4 inch gun. You can't do anything. It's got to tune to what I sometimes term crisp. It's got to tune around. It's got to, and when you got a gun that's just hanging and raggedy and throwing bumps out, and you get a little group down there that looks like not like a clover, but maybe like, I don't know, it's just rough and knobby, and it's not round. That's a frustrating thing, and I got the impression that possibly that was happening when I was spraying brake clean. So I don't know that that's true. I'm not teaching anything here. I'm not advising, advocating in any way. My thoughts are my thoughts, and I'm sharing them with you, and that's the extent of that. So hopefully this little cleaning video will give somebody something to think about.